Hi, I'm Chris Sangster, and welcome back to the studio. Today I'm going to share with you 5 beginner mixing habits that you need to stop immediately if you want to get better at mixing. Let's dive in. Number 1. High pass filtering every track except for the kick and bass. This is a mixing tip that has been shared and reshared all across the internet. I think I've even said it on this channel. However, it is not a hard and fast rule, and honestly, I would advise against the practice entirely. Yes, mixing generally involves cleaning up the low end so the kick and bass have plenty of room to live down there. However, the problem frequencies that often require the most track-by-track mixing, in my opinion, are really in the low mids, not so much in the true low end. And applying this mixing tip blindly can often lead to some problematic results. You can lose really important frequency information in things like guitars and vocals by high-pass filtering when it's not necessary. And here's why. A 6 dB per octave high-pass filter can introduce up to a 90-degree phase shift at the cutoff frequency. And this problem only gets worse as the filter gets steeper. This can be seriously problematic if the cutoff frequency is at or near the fundamental frequency of the note that's being played. This can lead to thinness, a hollow sound, lack of punch and definition, and if applied too broadly across a mix, it can really leave your mix sounding lifeless and hollow. Only high pass a track if it's causing a problem that you need to solve. Don't do it because you saw a cool tip online. Number 2, EQing based on charts or rules. Have you ever seen those fancy diagrams that tell you where the snap is on a snare drum or the sparkle is on a vocal? Let me save you some time. Those are completely worthless. EQing is song dependent. That means that no one EQ move will ever achieve the exact same results in every single scenario. The interplay between frequencies in a full mix is ridiculously complex, and it takes critical listening and experience to know what the correct EQ moves are. The best way to EQ, especially if you're just starting out, is to first identify a problem you want to solve. Second, boost one band of your EQ plugin and sweep it up and down the frequency range until you hear the problem area. And then third, cut or boost that area to achieve the desired result. Over time, you will learn to hear problems and identify the frequency range of that problem by ear, but that takes time and practice to develop that skill. Number 3, setting levels by sight. Now this one kind of piggybacks off of the last point in that the main thing here is to always use your ears. It does not matter what your compressor or EQ or mixer of your DAW look like. No one will ever see your session, but hopefully plenty of people will hear your song. Don't ever lose sight of my golden rule. If it sounds good, it is good. Number 4, putting Master Bus plugins on at the end of a mix. Master Bus plugins are not something that you slap on at the end of a mix to fix your shoddy mix. They are designed to be mixed through. The reason is that the Master Bus plugins will affect every single decision that you make throughout a mix because all of your tracks are running through them. So you need to set them up first and then go through your track by track mixing. Sure, there'll be times when you need to go back to those Master Bus plugins and make a small tweak as you go, but the idea remains the same. Set them first and then do all of your other mixing through those plugins. Learning how to drive signal through a Master Bus compressor or a tape saturator or a console emulation is part of the craft of mixing, and you'll only learn that skill by first putting the Master Bus processing on and then mixing through it. Number 5, not knowing when to do nothing. Now this may be the most difficult skill of all to learn. So many new mixers have the tendency to put plugins on every track and to do something to everything in the mix. But this can often lead to less than desirable results. You can over EQ and get thin sounding mixes, you can cause phase issues, you can take away everything cool that the original tracks had. Knowing when to say, no, this track doesn't need any plugins. All I need to do here is set the proper level and pan and I'm good to go. That skill is a hallmark of a great mixer. But once again, it takes time and practice to develop. There you go. Those are 5 beginner mixing habits that you need to stop right now to get better at mixing. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you at the studio next time. Thanks.